Hi people, I hope you're all good and happy with the way IBC is delaying the elections results. My name is Jane Mugure, just in case you're a new member. Please support this fine girl by hitting the subscription button, giving me a thumbs up and pressing the notification bell so that every time I upload a new video, you are among the first people to be notified. I'd like to reflect on some mistakes I did when I thought I knew it all, only for me to later realize they were stupid and just foolish and were done out of being a young person with all the hype that comes with being a young person. I won't get any big deal and you're not bothered about the future. So the first financial mistake I did was taking a help loan without my parents' consent and having to repay that loan later with interest. So how did that happen? I'm one of those people who joined university at the age of 17 years. So I didn't have an ID card. So there's no way I could apply for help loan. And furthermore, I went to a public university, so the fees was quite affordable. When in campus, there's a general feeling that when help money comes in, and if you're used to your parents sending you money on a monthly basis, then you can't compare yourself with those people who are getting the help money. So I get to second year, I now have an ID card and I apply for the loan. I don't even tell my parents. So they continue paying my school fees, my rent, and giving me upkeep. Luckily, I get both loans for first year and second year. I squander all the money extravagantly. I really can't recall how I spent that money. I misused the money and I never told them. And it happened like that. I went to the DIA and for there, still getting the money, but I never let my parents know. So they continue paying everything. And now after you finish, you get a job. And you have to restart repaying. Sijui venye help wanajuanga mtu amepata job. So unastukia employer yako really ashaanza kudeduct an amount for help loan. Then it hits you at that point, okay, ido nilisquander, I didn't do any good investment with it, and now I have to repay. I'm repaying the money like almost double what I got, and I have to repay it on a monthly basis. I felt it's quite expensive, and it's a mistake I would not have wanted to. I would want to repeat again in the future. Anyway, for the young people out there, don't think you're wiser than your parents. At least there are people who use their help loan wisely, but for me, that is one of the mistakes I regret. I didn't use it wisely and I had to repay it. And on top of that, I'm repaying it with interest. Very painful. Another financial mistake I did when I was young, foolish, I was also stupid, is living beyond my means. I used to spend more than I'm earning. Mind you, I'm salaried. I'm the only expenditure, and the money I'm being paid is not enough. And then I was not being subjected to pension, so I quite had some money. But I would party. I would live in expensive houses. I would lend out the money. Then at the middle of the month, I'm so broke. We were co-employed, and if you tell people the amount of money you earn and you are broke, watakushanga. Then people who are not employed in well-structured kind of organizations, or maybe they are doing their own side hustle, ndo wanakukopesha. I think I looked stupid. I have not gotten the courage to go back and ask people why they used to lend me money and I was earning more than them. But I see it's a struggle even to people nowadays. Unasikia mtu forever anakuanga amesota. And then you are like, okay, but why are you broke? And yet you work from Monday to Sunday. Unasikia mtu anafuliza mafuta ya gari. Unashindwa, shida yake ni gani? Kama huwezi afford. That was one mistake I really did. It took me some time to start readjusting to match the kind of lifestyle I'm having and the kind of income I'm having. Saa zingine tunajichochanga, unataka attend every other party, ukialiko unataka kwenda na hauna hiyo do. Then if you have to contribute, unataka you show off. But you're showing off to people who don't even care. They don't even know the kind of struggles you're going through. So manage your expectation. It is good to, they say live below your means, but it is so hard to live below your means. So it's just okay to live within your means. Don't financially burden yourself, like my case, by wanting to live extravagantly, yet you cannot afford. And finally, guys, the last financial mistake I did when I was still young, in my early 20s, early and mid 20s, I would say, is borrowing loans to repay loans. In point number 4, nimesema I used to live above my means. So to sustain that kind of a lifestyle, I had to take some loans here and there, maybe from friends, from mshwari. Hiyo siku hakukuwa na fuliza. So unalipwa, unachukua do yenye umelipwa, unalipa hiyo loan. Alafu sasa ndio ukope tena uweze kusurvive. Hiyo loan, mind you, iko na interest. Alafu mtu afanyangi hizo mahesabu za interest at that point in time. You are unable to delay your gratification. So unataka ukiona kitu uibuy pap. Saa zingine una hiyo do, umeona kitu, unaambia mtu, hebu nitumie 500, nitumie 1500, kuna deal nimeona hapa. Si deal, ni expenditure. So you borrow for expenses. You borrow to repay a loan. Then you're subjected to interest. I did that for like 1.5 years. But luckily, I came back to my senses. I will only do that at this moment, not to fund my desires, but to fund things that really matter. Things that have importance to me, not anything that I think I want to buy and my heart feel like I want it. If I can do without it, then I don't have to borrow. Nitasemaje sasa? The financial blunder number 4, at a count, are we number 4 or number 5? I don't know. It's doing CPA, the Certified Public Accounting course. Those papers are quite intensive. They require a lot of your time. And for my case, I went to campus to do actuarial science. So accounting was clearly not related to actuarial. But they say, those days, I don't know whether it still applies nowadays. If you have CPA, you have an added advantage when it comes to the job market. So, mimi, just before ningia campus, nisha enroll for the CASNEB papers. Na nikalipiwa shule. Nikaanguka, of course. The first and second one nilidunda. Nikarudia tena. So, nilikuwa na combine CPA na my actuarial course. Mind you, when you're doing actuarial, you're supposed to do actuarial professional papers, not accounting. Accounting ifanywa na watu wa BCom, ama watu wako huko finance courses. So, when the semester begins, I'm studying for my papers. While my other schoolmates are enjoying themselves, the campus friends, mimi niko busy library, semester ikianza kabla lessons zianzie, mimi niko library nikisomea CPA. They say time is money. So I used to spend all that time, maybe the first month or 3 weeks of the semester. More so, during long holidays, I would go to accounting colleges. I went to Brilliant, I went to NIPS, I went to Orient. So my parents pay school fees for my accounting teaching. Well, my university cohorts are either teaching in high schools or they are making money through writing articles. So I feel that was time wasted. Because I spent money and time, money that was for a course that is not related to what I do. I'm now a CPAK. I really don't know what to do with that course because I don't want to venture in the accounting course. I wish zinapeananga bure wale watu husema walilemewa at section 2 or 3 nipatie mtu ajisaidie nayo. Yeah, so I really regret doing that accounting course. It is of no value. It was a complete waste of money and a complete waste of time. Sikujibamba shule juu unasoma, then unasomea kitu haiko related na vitu unadu. Then as time goes by, ndio unajaribu kuona unafaa kufanya the professional papers in line with your course of study. To those people out there who think they should have a course as an added advantage, or I even hear people say nilitoka undergraduate level then immediately nikaingia masters, then wewe job umepata haiko related na kitu ulistudy. Unapata wewe ulifanya maybe tuseme BCom, ulifanya BCom, then ukimaliza undergraduate ukaingia masters in finance. Well, the masters is related to your undergraduate study. However, job yenye ulipata ukitoka campus na sasa imeanza kukubamba, maybe ni ya insurance. You waste your money doing a master that is not related to the career you're currently pursuing. And masters ni domob. Badala ufocus na ile nini umeventure nayo, ile career opportunity kwa available right now, unafaa kama inakufurahisha, you pursue professional papers or professional course or further studies in line to whatever you're doing and you're enjoying right now. You'll hear people say, I did my first master's and then I realized I'm not happy with that career path, so I have diverted. I would really advise people, before you start doing those expensive professional papers or maybe your master's study, be certain that is the career path you want to follow. You're not doing it because there is money available or because time is in a rush. And at times you've not even decided that is exactly what you want to do. Acha kwanza nijichekelee thodo niuma. I regret investing in a boyfriend's business. Hai, watu wenye mnafikiria ngati mkipata boyfriend mshaolewa, mshaanza kuona feature na yeye. Please lift your hands to form a WhatsApp group. So, I meet this guy when I was an intern in town. I work in Kiwavi, he works in Tom Mboya. So he's in the audiovisual industry. And the guy spoiled me because nilikuwa nabeba food na yacha kwa fridge. In the morning, ananibaya breakfast, lunch. Nikitoka job, atanibaya dinner. And so it went on like that. And the good thing, he used to do these corporate dinners and going to the big hotels. So I often accompanied him. So we hung around. I finished my internship in December. Then it also happened that he quit his job in December to start his own company. So January, I could fit my bills without struggle. And February, ikakuwa kumekauka sana. Then he was just starting up. And it happened that in March, I now get a permanent job, while he's also trying to build his company. So this period of Jan-Feb, we've been together. He has been even seeing me go for the interview. So he happens to even know how much I'll be paid and the benefits there are in that employment contract. So he supported me in January and February and the better part of March before I got my first salary. So he's trying to build himself up, and because he has, in my mind, I think like now I've made it, I've started investing in him. My salary is guaranteed at the end of every month, but for him, the events job are not guaranteed. You can get one big event on a Saturday, then the other whole week you don't have a job. So most of the times, he had an office in town, and my salary comes at a time when the landlord is demanding for rent. So what will happen? We take my salary, we pay rent. Should he need to hire some equipment from his other people in the events industry, then I top up some money, I give him, he hires the equipment, and in return, when I need the money back, he will give me money maybe for fare or for upkeep in the house. So we continued on like that the better part of the year, from March, April. I get my money, we invest together. Then, because I really didn't have any expenses. Sika sahi venye nimezeeka. My expenses zimefika huku. I had nothing to do with the money anyway. And except settling hapa pale. So, mimi nalipwa. Imagine, that was so stupid of me. Nalipwa, I would call it financial literacy ama a lack of financial intelligence. Nalipwa, napatia boy wangu pesa, tuna invest, maybe tuchukue ka screen, kamoja, kawili. Alafu sasa asha nifanya assistant director in an upcoming company. Sasa mtoto wa 23 years ukishaanza kumwambia amekuwa assistant director. See, what else does she need? So it happened that I didn't save anything. We continued investing in that boyfriend's business. And at some point, we had to part our ways. The biggest mistake of it all is that there was no written agreement that I was investing in his business. So I didn't have proof. Should things go south, I had participated in building the company, or I was part of the shareholders. I only had a title and I could send emails and invoices to people. But mind you, it's using his address, not mine. So when we parted ways, I had to lose everything. For the like a whole year of investing, getting your salary and investing, and in return, when he's giving you the money, you're supposed to be accountable, because you can't be given 1,000 alafu mimi na beshte yangu, my colleague, tunapita tao tunanunua nguo kwa street, pesa inaisha, the next day you need to be given money. So one of the reasons we separated is because I'm working but I'm always broke. Tumelipwa pesa yangu, tumelipa ofisi, tumenunua 2 screens, tumenunua ka generator. Then sasa yeye akifanya job ndio ataanza kunipea kidogo kidogo, because mimi sina my expenses anyway. Ilikuwa tu ni lesson, but mpaka leo inaumiza roho kujua it never went anywhere. And maybe the lesson to the young girls should learn is kama mtu hajakuoa, achana na biashara zake, achana na kujifanya unafanya investment na yeye. And should you have to do it, be incorporated as a shareholder in that company, or have a written agreement that should things go south, then I'll take my share and you retain your own share. I lost. I say that's a whole year wasted. It didn't count to work. I didn't feel like I was earning, because I did nothing for myself. I had seen the potential, but vitu vichenjanga. When the partnership failed and I lost a big sum of money, a huge amount of money, I chose to save kidogo and then I start investing in my own business. My then boyfriend used to tell me, jobs are not guaranteed. So I quit mine just the other day. So I really had the passion to do business, to just get some money and also prepare for my exit at some point. I hear that the longest you're supposed to stay in any company is 5 years. Then you should go and start your own, or look for other ventures or move to other companies. But most of the times it doesn't happen like people put it. So I save my little money and then I start investing. The first biashara I did was the plastic bags, the carrier bags had just been introduced. So nikanunua bags mingi huko Kamukunji, packing bags na zile Nigerian bags, big ones. And I went and took to someone's shop in the village. Mind you, I'm not in the village, but I've invested like 40,000 in that business, plus carrier bags and curtains. Yeah. So the carrier bags didn't give me any return because I intended to sell in wholesale, but the market was already saturated. The people in that shopping center already had their own suppliers, and maybe the person I gave to sell for me was not aggressive enough. So eventually, the packing bags couldn't sell, and they were used to zilikaa tu hapo for like 2 years and then zikaisha. Curtains, I only sold 1 pair, and the others I ended up giving them out, and that is how that business collapsed. I engaged in farming. Mnasikianga hizi farming za Narok, ati unaweza lima cabbages ama ulime mahindi because it's a prime land. So me and my other friends come together, we save some dough, some small money, and then we choose to invest. Then one of our friends wasn't employed by then. So she was the manager. She's the one who would go to the farm. She tells us, we are doing this, we've plowed the land, we need water, we need we need this amount of seedlings. So to cut the long story short, we only planted for 1 year, and it didn't give us any return. And the biggest mistake is that I never even went to see what was being planted. So that was another scam lost. Kidogo nika decide ama I start selling plastic shoes because they don't need intense capital, and this was now that time I'm trying to venture into a business. And so I go again to Kamukunji, I get a stall, a container, nachukua viatu nakuja nauza, nachukua viatu maybe na 140. Sasa when you come to the market to sell, mtu wa mkokoteni anauza viatu na 100, wewe you bought yours at 140, so there is no way you can even sell at 150. You will need to sell at 180 or 200. And these mkokoteni people, they'll never let you know where they get their shoes from. So wakiuza 100, wewe hata purchasing price yako haijakuwa 100, imekuwa 140. So customers will definitely not come to you. Wataenda kwa huyo mtu wa mkokoteni. And also another mistake I realized, or maybe a lesson I learned, is that in future I'll not invest in a business that gives me small returns. For example, ukichukua hizo plastic shoes, you take them at 140, the largest you can get is 60 bob, uziuze 200. If you take rubber shoes at, by then zilikuwa 3, so uzinunue wholesale na 230, utauza, the maximum you can sell is 300. Na kuna mtu atabagain na 50, anataka kubagain na 20 bob, 50 bob, so unaweza pata kwa kiatu moja, faida yako ni 30 bob. By the time you accumulate that money, you get do ya kulipa mwenye anakufanyia kazi, do ya kulipa landlord, do yako ya kuendea stock. You don't have any money. Invest in big stock, and then the returns will be higher. Kwa sasa hiyo biashara ukiuza viatu 2 umemake 70 bob, ni msichana atakula lunch ama ni wewe utasave for increase your stock. Eventually that business didn't give me returns. Nilifanya for like 3 months. Again, nikafunga na viatu nikapeana, na zile zingine nikaziuza na so zenye zilibaki I gave them out. Nikaanza kuza, I think this is going to be an episode on its own of the kind of businesses I've really engaged in and I've not gotten returns in any of them. Yeah, that's another financial blunder. But the lesson I learned is that you cannot trust anyone with your business. Kama unaweka biashara, set it up in somewhere you can go and manage by yourself, or somewhere you are able to monitor, or make a bigger investment in such a way that you are able to monitor things at the comfort of your home. And also, don't invest in a biashara which you've not properly surveyed. For example, hiyo issue ya kuendea stock za plastic shoes, mtu anauza na 100 na wewe umeichukua na 140. So you need to know all the mashimos. Usisikie tu ati ni Kamukunji ndo wanafanyanga wholesale. There are other places uko industrial area utaenda uchukue hiyo bei watu wa Kamukunji wanachukua nayo, unaichukua the same. Haina loading, and in that way you are able to thrive in the business, especially if you're a small scale person. That brings me to the end of this video. Tupatane in the new government, and a reminder, please share my video if you like it. Pia nipatie a thumbs up, then leave your comments on some of the financial mistakes you've done when you were young and stupid like me. Goodbye.